现在这男生是越来越清醒了。
Guys these days are waking up. They're mostly done with the whole song and dance of chasing women.
Just think about it.
For a rich guy, pursuing a girl is easy. The passenger seat of his luxury car is usually enough. If not, money fills the gap. But for the average man, the cost of entry is just too high. You have to be the one to start conversations, but if you're too enthusiastic, you're a simp, and if you're too reserved, you're a clueless guy with low EQ. If you treat her to a meal that isn't fancy enough, you're stingy. After months of playing the role of her ATM, driver, bodyguard, and nanny, maybe, if you're lucky, you finally win her over. And what's the prize? You spend a fortune on a bride price, make a down payment on a car and a house, and blow a ton more on a wedding, all to marry a girl who just stepped out of the passenger seat of another man's luxury car. So, can you blame guys for not wanting to play this game anymore? Pursuing them is hard enough, and success isn't guaranteed. Even if you succeed, you can't be sure her heart is truly yours. That's why so many guys these days would rather just focus on making money.
为什么现在的男生都不愿意主动追女生了呢？
主要
Why are men today hesitant to pursue women? There are three main reasons. First, an average guy with a regular job might work overtime to earn a modest salary, but social media is flooded with images of perfect boyfriends showering their partners with luxury goods and lavish transfers, spending thousands as if it's nothing. Comparing himself, he feels his wallet, barely enough for daily expenses, can't compete with such extravagance. For the cost of chasing a woman, he might as well spend a small amount, like $299, to chat and relax at a massage parlor, as pursuing love often comes with a hefty price tag. Second, many women today seem to lack gratitude. No matter how much you do for them, one small mistake can erase all your efforts in their eyes. Third, some women juggle multiple relationships, moving on quickly if you don't meet their every whim, breaking up with you, and immediately starting with someone else, leaving you wondering how many others they're entertaining. For an ordinary young man from a typical family, chasing a woman blindly, investing time, energy, and money, feels like a risky gamble. Many women accept a man's efforts for months, even years, without committing, and when he finally confesses his feelings, they might say, "I'm not ready for a relationship," or "I need time to think," having happily taken everything offered. After spending thousands, the guy might hear, "We're not compatible, let's break up," only to see her with someone new the next day.
2025年2月1号，新婚姻法出来了。
The new marriage law is coming on February 1st, 2025, and let me tell you, a lot of women are freaking out.
Why?
Because this law draws a line in the sand that couldn't be clearer. It states that prenuptial assets belong to the original owner, regardless of whether you add someone else's name to the deed. Even a house fully paid for by one party's parents after marriage will belong to their child in a divorce. What does this mean? It means that house the man bought himself before the wedding isn't yours, even if he puts your name on it. When things go south, you won't get a single penny. So, to those women who dream of just moving in with a suitcase, hoping to reap where they did not sow, or those who see marriage as a business deal to get their hands on a house and car, you'd better give up that fantasy. The games are over. You won't get a dime. The funniest part is a comment I saw from a woman who suggested, "Well, then just demand he sign a gift agreement and transfer the property to you." Honestly, I was floored by her foolishness. What immense value do you think you possess that would make a man sign over his property to you as a gift? The audacity to even ask for something like that is astounding. Keep dreaming. Instead of sitting around scheming to get other people's assets, why not work hard to achieve your own financial freedom? It's pathetic to constantly be coveting what men have.
以后可能结婚的就会更少了。
In the future, fewer people might choose to get married. The reason lies in the newly enacted marriage law. Simply put, the law says, whoever owns the money keeps the money, whoever owns the house keeps the house, and money from one's parents remains with their child. Some women have asked, what if the man transfers the house and car to my name before we get married? But even that doesn't work. The court makes its decisions based on bank transaction records. So, no matter whose name is on the deed or ownership papers, the person who paid for it gets to keep it. Transferring ownership beforehand doesn't make a difference. Honestly, marriage has always been a mix of greed and desire from both sides, with a bit of seasoning added in. Now that everything is so clearly separated between before and after marriage, some people might just decide not to get married at all. As the saying goes, water too clear holds no fish. People usually enter marriage with different intentions. On the surface, it might look like it's about love, but in reality, for many, it's about material things. Now that all material motivations are blocked, some might think, well, then there's no point in marrying. This could lead to a decline in the marriage rate, and possibly a decline in the divorce rate as well. Marriage has always been a complex decision involving many considerations. Just ask those who have been through it. Very few married purely for love. Most people take into account a combination of factors: safety, financial security, even biology.
我做咨询已经有段时间了，就很多人跟我说
I've been doing this consulting work for a while now, and many people say that when you're exposed to so many problems, you'll inevitably become negative. But honestly, have you noticed? Since I started taking on clients, my state of mind has actually improved. Before, when I was just reading submissions or scrolling through comments for inspiration, my energy felt very heavy. But since I started consulting directly, I feel much better because my approach is different. As a long-time relationship blogger, I'm terrified of interfering with someone's karma or taking on their burdens, which is why I have very clear principles. Those who've sought my help know that I review your case first. My assistant summarizes it, and only if I feel I can genuinely help will I accept. If I can't, I will absolutely refuse. This brings me to a firm rejection I need to make clear. Don't come to me if you want big results in a short amount of time. I don't understand why relationship consulting has become so obsessed with this phrase. What the hell is a big result? Everyone keeps talking about big results, fast results in a few months.
I can't do that.
A 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step, and some things cannot be rushed. I want you to understand that what comes quickly also goes quickly. Secondly, what you think you get isn't truly yours. It's the universe thinking you're doing okay and temporarily letting you borrow it. The day you're not, it will be taken away. That so-called big result is ultimately not a result at all. Who can say what the final outcome of a life is? If I use some trick to get you that big result, only for it to bring you a bigger disaster a few months later, what would be the point? Especially those who want to use dark tactics to deal with men. That's terrifying. I can't do it. If you want a big result, don't come to me. The reason I'm so against this is because I am a very grounded person and my own happiness comes from a completely different place. Life today is so chaotic. Many of you admire me, thinking my life is wonderful, but in truth, I'm probably not as wealthy as many of you. Recently, many real rich wives, not a pseudo-rich wife persona like mine, have come to me for help. They have everything, yet their lives are a mess and they ask me, "You seem so happy, with high status in your family and no worries, right?" You know, I'm very down to earth. Do you know what my husband and I did recently that brought us immense joy? We deep cleaned the entire 3rd floor. That is our happiness. Going to the wet market together tomorrow morning is also happiness. I'm the type of person who rushes to the market at 5 or 6 a.m. to get the best cut of pork belly because my whole family loves it. These are the things that make me happy. My lifestyle is very vintage. I pick flowers from the garden to put in a vase. I play with my kids. My husband and I are foodies. We don't have a high-class social circle, and we don't like to show off. Most of my friends are from the internet, and the greatest validation I receive is from all of you. This is my hobby, and it makes me feel incredibly content, a contentment that doesn't come from any big result. This brings me to what I can offer. To be happy and content, you first need a high level of perceptiveness and a love for your daily life. So when people ask, if you can't bring big results, why should we consult you? My answer is this. First, I can teach you the art of living. I may not know how to get you a big result, but if you follow me long-term, I can teach you how to live a stable, grounded life. Second, the best result I can help you achieve is a state of happiness, a state where you have people you can trust and people who trust you, where you can feel joy in the small, mundane things, where you can communicate openly and as equals with your partner. These are the results I can bring. And third, I can help you make the right choices. Especially for young women at that stage where choice is more important than effort, I can use my wisdom to help you make decisions. The consultation fee you pay can, at the very least, save you from men who will scam you. Let me be blunt, sister. You hesitate to spend a few hundred on consulting, but without a clear-headed person to guide you, you could easily be scammed out of a fortune by a man later on, or even be tricked into having his child, only to be abandoned. On the other hand, there are people I cannot help. If you're already at a dead end in reality, with no resources left to make a change, then please don't come to me. For example, if your husband treats you horribly but you're pregnant with a second child, you've made your bed. Don't come to me. Likewise, if you're in extreme financial difficulty, don't waste your money on a relationship blogger. Unless you're young, beautiful, and in your prime for marriage, then being a little poor is something we can work with. But if you have no leverage left, I truly advise you not to waste your money. It's not that I look down on the poor. It's that I don't want you spending your precious funds on something that won't solve your root problem. Your first priority is to make money. Swallow your pride and go to work. Men can drive for ride-sharing apps or do delivery. Women can do housekeeping or cleaning. Honestly, that's better than staying at home begging for money from a man who doesn't respect you. Ultimately, my philosophy is simple. I only take on cases where I'm skilled and confident I can help improve someone's life. Of course, the paid content is much deeper and more practical than the free content because there are things you simply cannot say publicly. So, if you're on the same wavelength as me, you're welcome. If not, please just scroll on by. There's no need for hate. We are all just trying our best to live.
89年36岁，没结婚没孩子。
I was born in 89, which makes me 36 this year. Single, no children. When I look around, all my friends are married, while I'm still searching for the right person. I've realized I'm caught in a societal paradox. On one hand, society encourages women to be rational, independent, and ambitious. On the other, it places so many restrictions and judgments on us when it comes to marriage. When you're young and dedicated to your career, they say you don't need a family. When you get older and more established, they say you're too strong. No one will want you. The more independent you become, the more you're labeled as picky and unwilling to compromise. This is the awkward reality that women in my position face. We're no longer a priority for mainstream society, yet we're constantly being pressured to get married. It puts us in an incredibly difficult and precarious position when trying to make choices for our own lives.
为什么现在男生都不追女生了？那爱情都被物质。
Why don't guys chase girls anymore? Love has become so materialistic, and we simply can't afford it. A dinner costs a couple hundred, a movie ticket nearly 100, and even a milk tea comes with an hourly rate. With my daily earnings, how can I keep up? The worst part is the lack of hope. It's like playing a game where you fight a boss, use all your skills, drain your resources, and exhaust your gear, only to see the boss hasn't lost a single drop of health. Why bother continuing? Pursuing a girl you like, buying her gifts, treating her to meals, or taking her to movies feels like a test. Didn't your parents teach you that accepting favors comes with obligations? If you don't understand basic reciprocity, you're either clueless or lack integrity. Some girls have a flawed mindset, expecting gifts like bags or lipstick, fancy dinners, or trips before a relationship is even established. If you're not my girlfriend, why should I spend money on you? My money doesn't grow on trees. It's absurd when girls who aren't your girlfriend expect girlfriend-level treatment. And to those guys who keep chasing them despite this, what are you thinking? Pouring effort into someone else's future partner is like buying skins for a game account you don't own, pointless and foolish. Chasing a girl requires some effort and money, but it shouldn't cost a fortune. Building a relationship is where we should invest our full energy and resources.
这个视频是想给那些被女人背叛以后
This is for the men who have been betrayed by the woman they love, for those who have tried to salvage things, only to be met with refusal. I know your heart is shattered. You gave her your truest self, You were even willing to die for her, and in return, she turned her back on you without mercy. I know you can't wrap your head around it, and you're desperate for an answer. Why did she betray you? How could years of shared love be worth less than one night of passion with someone else? I also know you're still clinging to illusions, still making excuses for her in your mind, telling yourself, she couldn't possibly do this to me, or maybe they didn't actually go all the way. I know you're blaming yourself, because after her betrayal, she shifted all the blame onto you. You weren't good enough, you didn't understand her, you didn't love her enough, you failed to provide emotional value. And you're buying it. You're drowning in guilt, thinking, if only I had treated her a little better, maybe this wouldn't have happened. I know you can't let go. Your heart is bleeding. Every time you recall your intimate moments, you can't stop imagining her doing those same things with another man. You are torn between your inability to forget your feelings and your inability to tolerate the brutal fact of her betrayal. You wish she would just sincerely apologize. You even want to warn her that the other man is just playing her. I know you've turned to cigarettes and alcohol to escape reality, just to be able to sleep at night when her image haunts your mind. I even know that in moments of madness, you've thought about killing that other man because you're still blaming the third party, thinking that if he hadn't appeared, your woman would never have betrayed you. But I have a duty to wake you up. While you are writhing in agony, she is very likely enjoying herself with another man. While you are desperate for an explanation, she probably has no intention of giving you one because in her heart, you are no longer important. She feels no need to explain anything. While you're still clinging to fantasy, you are only deceiving yourself. Do you really need her to admit that she's been in another man's bed? When you are busy blaming yourself, she is likely lying in another's arms, enjoying his tenderness. She betrayed you, then threw the responsibility back at you, leaving you to hurt and blame yourself. Stop trying to hold on. It's over. The moment she decided to betray you, she had already planned for a life without you. Don't tell her how much you're hurting or how much you love her. When a person no longer loves you, your very existence is wrong in their eyes. Your standing is wrong, your sitting is wrong, even your breathing is wrong. Your desperate pleas for her to return will only make her look down on you more. Your smoking and drinking will only make you seem more pathetic. Be strong. Look at your fallen self in the mirror and ask if it's worth it. You want revenge on that man? Let me tell you, without him, there would have been another. It's in her nature. What you need to do now is to live better. Live a life that is more brilliant than that other man's. One day, you will make her regret it. But never beg her to come back. Don't even think about forgiveness or reconciliation. Because when you're no longer in her heart, everything you do is cheap. She won't be moved, she won't feel pity, and she won't care. You will only make yourself look like a pathetic wretch. Don't expect her to regret it soon. But that day will surely come. Because no man will ever truly love a woman who is a betrayer. If she can betray you today, she will betray him tomorrow. If she can sleep with this man today, she can be ambiguous with another man tomorrow. And when that man is done playing with her and kicks her to the curb like trash, that is when she will remember you. She will remember the kindness of the man who once loved her with all his heart.
So we have gone through emotional stories with China Untold. Through this, we see that love and marriage have been exploited and become cold. The law in a contract is trusted more than promises. Men, oppressed and in danger, have chosen to withdraw to protect themselves. Women, despite becoming strong and independent, are trapped in societal consciousness difficulties. In her heart, this is a crisis of relationships. The erosion of trust and the rise of independence are pushing them to their own lonely islands, even as they constantly think of love. Perhaps the ultimate lesson is not about winning or losing this calculated game of love, but about rediscovering one's core values. This is about learning to appreciate the simple things, building inner strength, and knowing what you truly want. Because in the end, in an uncertain world, we can only rely on a better version of ourselves. And you, what are your thoughts after watching this? Please leave your opinions in the comments section. And if you find the video interesting, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all very much and see you next time.